Hare Krishna Prabhus and Matajis, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. I am Sripadi Dayanidhi Das, and I'll be the host for today's class. Before we start, please allow me to recite the Mangala Charanam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Umlitam Yena Tasme Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stabidam Yena Bhutale Swamarupa Karyamayam Dadati Swapadandikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sakrajadam Sahagana Raghunadan Vidam Tamsa Jivam Sadvedam Savatudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visagan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrashabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutali Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschaya Desha Dharini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna again, Prabhus and Matajis. Today we have the pleasure of hearing the discourse from His Grace Hema Rupa Chaitanya Prabhu from ISKCON Govardhan Eco Village. His Grace is a well-known speaker in our academy and needs no introduction. So without any further delay, let's welcome His Grace to dive into today's topic on family values with lessons from Mahavatar Narsimha movie. Hare Krishna, Your Grace. Anytime when you're ready.
Hare Krishna. So I hope you can hear me.
Can hear you, Prabhu, but just not very loud.
Hare Krishna.
Better, it's better.
Okay. So yes. So a lot of heavy rains on our side here. Red alert warning for the past 3-4 days of flooding. So I hope the internet will be a little better. Let's see. If I go off or it becomes not clear, please check in with me, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, please.
Okay, yeah. So Hare Krishna and welcome to all devotees to the Wednesday's Bhagavad Gita class. This has been a big hit, this Mahavatar Narsimha movie, and I'm very assured that many of you must have watched it in Malaysia, maybe more than once also. It's creating fantastic waves all over the world, particularly the director who became more involved with ISKCON afterwards, but the script writer, who's our own congregation devotee in Mumbai, Jai Purna Prabhu, who wrote the script. So it's very, very in line with Shastra, beautifully presented. So we found a lot of values. So for today's class of Bhagavad Gita, we thought we'll talk on one. As you can see here, I've written many categories: family values, nature of devotees, nature of Lord, power of bhakti, divine demoniac traits, shlokas quoted in the movie. So these are different categories, but 2-hour movie, so many lessons are there. So we're going to take only one category today, which is family values. And we're going to try to discuss. There are 8 lessons that we can draw from here. So I'm also going to show the clip. So I hope that you can see that. So first, let us now begin with first seeing Bhagavad Gita's take on family values. So there are beautiful series of shlokas in the first chapter. Arjuna sees the warfare that is going on, and he thinks that, Krishna, why do you want me to kill all these people? Killing my relative is going to bring about great harm. And therefore, he gives many reasons. And some of the reasons describe the importance of family values or family traditions. So I'm going to read through the verses, and simultaneously, you all can just read the translation which comes out beside it. Okay. So these are 4 sets of verses, very beautiful. कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्मा सनातन धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृस्तं अधर्मोऽभिभवत्युता. Then he says, अधर्माभिभवत् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टस्तु वर्ष्णेय जायते वर्णसङ्करा संकरो नरकायैव कुलज्ञानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः दोषैरेते कुलज्ञानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साध्यन्ते जातिधर्म कुलधर्मश्च शाश्वतः. So here Arjuna tells to Krishna that if family values or family tradition is destroyed, naturally within that family, adharma starts to increase. So people who do not follow the practice, naturally the family becomes impious. We can see one practical example. Probably most of the people of us of Indian origin in Malaysia, we got a little divorced with our culture because our grandparents or parents or great grandparents left India coming to Malaysia. They do not follow some things and not there. So slowly, the culture gets declined and irreligion starts to increase. You find children nowadays who ate beef themselves, Indians and all. So it is slowly coming up because of irreligion. So here Arjuna tells to Krishna that if family culture, family tradition, family values are destroyed, adharma will increase. What will happen when adharma increase? Next shloka says, if adharma increases, the first people to fall victim will be the women. Women will become adulterous. So pradushanti kula striya, dushit, they become contaminated. And when the women who are the creators of dynasties, creators of progeny, if they become contaminated, if they become adulterous, they will give birth to what is known as varna sankara, mixed color. That means mixed breed. So they call it. It's not a very good word to use on people, mixed breed or whatever. So you get people of mixed value, unwanted progeny. Prabhupada says, sometimes say accidental childbirth or whatever it may be. And what's so bad about such Varna Sankaras? Third shloka says that this Varna Sankara, they are hellish. They are born, without any proper planning. They are born without mixed parentage, no culture. They wreak havoc. And therefore, their actions will affect their ancestors. Their ancestors will fall down into hellish life. And last shloka says that because of that, whole society becomes very hellish. These people become rebellious, these Varna Shankaras, these people turn against culture, turn against family, turn against tradition. They stop all pious work, all pious activity. They go against the welfare of man. And therefore, the whole thing becomes messy. So here in the Bhagavad Gita, we see how important is family values, family tradition. Now, for those who have watched the movie Mahavatar Narsimha, you could also see that a lot of principles or lessons on family values came up, particularly in the dynamics between Hiranyakashipu, a demoniac, nevertheless a father, king, Prahlad, saintly son, Kayadu, these three roles and how they deal and how they play and minor details which comes up in the movie, which are very helpful for us to improve in ourselves. So we'll thought of looking at 8 different lessons here. First is right time matters, So we'll go into each of this. Presence of both parents in the life or upbringing of children. The importance of spiritual environment and Krishna Katha or Krishna Kirtan in the lives of family. There's a misconception. People think that spirituality, taking up to bhakti, means sannyasa, isn't it? So let's discuss about that. Like parent, like child. Okay, many times, we don't realize that the child sees more than actually they learn from anywhere else. So that's a very important point to also note in family values, keeping strong family values. Career versus care. We'll look into this. The joy of parenthood. And last is respect as the integral part of keeping family traditions together. So let's go ahead into the first, which is right time matters. This is a clip now. I have the soft copy in Hindi. So I don't know. Those who can understand, you can understand. Little good Hindis, little Sanskrit words are used. Else, there's always an English, what do you call it, subtitles below. So I hope that you can see this playing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, there's no sound.
Oh, you can't hear the sound.
Yeah, no sound, Prabhu.
Can you see the movie moving?
Movies moving, Prabhu, but no
Oh,
sound.
but no sound.
Ah.
I wonder why. I thought it would play. Okay. Okay, anyways, it's in Hindi, so probably just read through the subtitles.
Prabhu, you have to share sound.
Sorry?
Share the sound, Prabhu. Share the sound with us.
How do you share the sound?
On your Zoom, there'll be share sound, I think.
Oh my God, I feel so old. I can share screen.
Wait,
Is it share
Prabhu,
sound?
I get one of the tech team people to help you, can?
Oh, okay.
Guna Prabhu,
Wow,
Guna
sorry
Prabhu, can
about
you
this.
help Prabhu, please?
Is there a share sound?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Background. Hare Krishna.
Before sharing the screen, there's the option need to share sound.
While sharing the screen, they'll ask, is it?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Tech team to the rescue. Try this. Is it there?
Louder a bit, Prabhu, louder.
पक्का था।
Pakka lah, tu already.
क्योंकि ये वो समय है जब भूत पिशाच प्रेत आत्माएं और राक्षस गण अपने प्रभु शिव जी
Can hear,
सहित
Prabhu.
आकाश से गमन कर रहे होते हैं। शास्त्रानुसार इस समय नर और नारी के बीच होने वाले संभोग के उपरांत किसी असुरी शक्ति का उस नारी के गर्भ में आश्रय लेने की पूरी संभावनाएं होती हैं।
So here Diti approaches her husband Kashyapa, and this is in Srimad Bhagavatam. The whole details is mentioned, and he warns her that this time, this Sandhya Kalam, the connection is not proper. So there's a beautiful actually dialogue that goes on. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary, he mentions that Diti was assuming that Shiva would not mind. Now Kashyapa has told her that, hey, Shiva comes in this time, be careful. But Diti was not worried about that. Kashyap tells Diti, these are the words of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that Shiva sees with all of his three eyes, his three netra. He sees with his three eyes. What are the three eyes compared to sun, moon, and fire? They witness everything. So he says that Shiva sees with all three eyes. You should be very careful. He will punish you. And Diti replies that, so what? I have no relation to him. Why he want to trouble me? Kashyap says, oh no, my dear lady, do you forgot? Who is your sister? Sati. Sati, your sister. Your sister married to Shiva. So Shiva is like your brother-in-law. So he says that Shiva is like your brother-in-law. And if Shiva is your brother-in-law, he's my brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law, between men, brother-in-law are like brothers only. Therefore, are you not afraid? Are you not shy to do these kind of things in front of your own brother, Shiva? And, Diti is saying, she's saying, what is this? She said, I have given up. I cannot think of all this. Shiva should forgive us because we are relatives. So he should be merciful unto us. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, there see, even though informed, still Diti was acting like a prostitute. This word comes in Bhagavatam because he gives a lesson, an important lesson here. Lust devours discrimination, which is shown by self-respect. The proof of this is Brahma among men, because Brahma ran after his own daughter, Vak. Brahma among men and Diti among women. So here we understand Kashyap is giving a very important family value lesson that how, in a family also, especially progeny, procreating, the right time matters. So we see Sandhya Kalam, the evening time for sleeping. It is not good for eating or having progeny. This is why the evening times or the Sandhya, whenever there's a transition period of the day, even the noon time is not an advised time for sleeping. Even when the time the sun rises in the morning, we should wake before the sunrise. So these three Sandhyam, these three periods are not auspicious times for any other activity except prayers. Therefore, prayers are done that time. People do their Gayatri, they do their Sandhya Vandanam during that time. So he also teaches an important lesson in what is called as Garbhadan Samskar. This is one of the first of the 16 Samskaras. Samskaras, you can say, are impressions or milestones which kind of like mark different periods in our lives. Everyone remember, at least our time, it was the UPSR, PMR, SPM, STPM, whatever. These are like milestones in our lives, So entering into college, graduating, first job, these are all milestones. So similarly, in Vedic life, sanskaras are important milestones which a person observes to create good impressions. So the Garbhadhana samskar is mentioned here. And this gives us the importance, that the consciousness of the people at that time attracts such consciousness of the soul. So if one have a enjoying tendency, then the soul of the child will be an enjoying tendency, If a person has a very demoniac or an asuric tendency, consciousness, that kind of soul will be attracted. Sometimes we joke, oh, this is like Saitan ki bacche, like the child is like of demoniac nature, causing so much. We see some small children like to bite people's hand, this and that, like, what happened, So anyways, consciousness. So Shastra explains that women is compared to like the land. Agriculture season is going on right now here in India because it's raining. So women is like the land where everything grows, fertile, everything sprouts. And men gives the seed, right? So the man gives the seed. So both are very important in this connection. Land is fertile, man gives a proper seed, then proper child at the proper time grows. Else when we do agriculture, we know when to plant, when not to plant. You plant something too early, no water, it dies. Plant something too late, gets drowned, die. So timing is very important. We calculate when we plant rice, when we plant vegetables, we calculate how many days. So sometimes rice is short term, which grows for 90 days, gives harvest in 90 days. Longest is 180 days. There's some rice which goes for 230 days. So we have to calculate all these kind of things. So right time definitely matters. Now let's look at a second lesson. The presence of both parents are integral. Let's see in this episode of Mahavatar Narsimha.
स्वामी, एक गर्भवती स्त्री के लिए उसके पति का सानिध्य अति आवश्यक होता है. कृपया कहीं मत जाइए. प्रतिशोध, उपासना, अब छोड़ दीजिए ये सब.
So here we are talking about common considerations, common situations where both parents are available. This is not going to discuss about, if sometimes due to unfortunate circumstances, one spouse is not available because they're deceased or divorced. We're not talking about that. We are talking about both are available. So, sometimes people do extra jobs, they travel, they don't give so much time to family. Here we can see Kayadu requesting Hiranyakashipu that, please be there, because tapasya means thousands of years, and don't just go, I need to be there. Sometimes in family values also, the presence of both parents are extremely important. We should not pass on the responsibility to others, right? Compensate. Sometimes relatives will take care, friends can take care, in-laws can take care. Nowadays, maids will take care. I'm sure many of you have seen how sometimes the small children, they are more attached to the kaka. Kaka means the maid. They are more attached to the kaka than to their ibu, right? Than to their own mothers. Small children, when the kaka sometimes cannot continue, they start crying. Mana kaka, they start, because they're more attached to them as mother than their own mothers. So there's an African proverb which says it takes a village to raise a child. This is a very important family value, that parenthood, especially, it's so important. Both partners are very, very important in the role to develop a child. It is vital. Why they say entire village to raise a child? Because the child learns as they grow up how to deal with older people, their difficulties, their psychology. Older people, they have needs. They want to be respected. They have a need, they feel they are not important. A little, sometimes they, how you say, don't say karena lah, but they make, like a little, they become a bit difficult. So one has to respect and understand the psychology. So children from a young age, growing up with elder people, they know how to deal with them. They know how to deal with younger children who may be a little immature, who may be a little playful, a little short-sighted. They know how to deal with equals. They know how to deal with respectable people in society. They know how to deal with unfortunate people of society, downtrodden people of society, right? They see the realities of life, sicknesses, death, fortune, misfortune. They see all this. So it's a very wholesome upbringing. Whereas nowadays, nuclear family, they don't see so much of that. They see mother, father, success, work, job, school. That's it. Very limited experiential learning. But when a whole village is involved, a whole community is involved in raising a child sees the whole bandwidth of what life is from an early age, they actually learn this. Right? And therefore, for wholesome development of a child, in our Vedic culture, there is what is called as the Panchakosha system. Gurukul syllabus. Panchakosha means 5 layers, 5 coverings. So it starts with Annamaya Kosha, which means the child is aware of physical development, physical fitness, health, development of muscles, being active, so on and so forth. Then Pranamaya, food, Annamaya comes food also, what to eat, what not to eat. Pranamaya means the child starts to value life. Life within plants, life within animals, life within nature. It starts to expand from I-centered consciousness to our-centered consciousness. They start seeing other life forms also as part of the organism, a part of the ecosystem. So they will not simply want to pluck the flower, pluck the plant, something just pinch this, break this, throw that, throw garbage here and there. So sometimes people who do littering, because their pranamaya kosha is not developed. They may be 40, 50 years old, but that Annamaya Kosh is well developed. Where to find food, and I'm hungry means I have to eat. But Pranamaya Kosh, dealing with other living beings, dealing with the ecosystem, that is not nourished. So it's a little lopsided. So they throw rubbish, they don't care about others, very low civic sense. Pranamaya Kosh, life as sacred. Manomaya Kosh is when the child now explores creativity, arts, music, culture, dance, painting, quizzing, and all these kind of different things, what is known as non-technical, non-academic intelligence. So they start experimenting with this. And then come Vijnanamaya Kosh. Vijnanamaya Kosh is when the child now starts developing, or is developed, helped to develop their discrimination skills. Something may seem nice, but it's not good. Something may seem nice, but it's not good. No. Something may seem not very palatable, but it's good. Take. So this is Vijnanamaya Kosh. So, and then last is, of course, Anandamaya Kosh, where ultimately where you will get source of happiness, positivity, resilience, so on and so forth. So this was the Gurukul style syllabus of Panchakosha. Through various activities, through various games, through various exposures, through various lessons, they have to develop all these 5 koshas equally. And this is what is known as a wholesome development for the child. Now, why this point is there is because it's not a single person who can do it. So can you imagine if there was only a single parent, how much pressure and how much difficulty it is for one person to do all this. We see today in schools also, where they
Hare Krishna, Your Grace. Hare Krishna, Your Grace, can't hear you.
and Hari Katha.
कयाधु गर्भवती स्त्री के लिए ये अति आवश्यक है कि वो हरि भक्ति में अपना मन लगाए, हरि कथा सुने। इससे उसके गर्भ में पलने वाले शिशु पे अच्छा प्रभाव पड़ता है।
So here Narada Muni brings Kayadu to his ashrama. Beautiful, you see the birds and the plants and the river and the grass and the association and how people are dressed. So all these kind of things, this is ambience. Ambience is so important in spiritual life. Creating the right ambience is vital. It's called in Sanskrit as uddipan. You can only imagine, no? The difference between a clean place and a dirty place. It affects the mind. The difference between a lonely place and a lively place. Right? You go to somewhere alone, nothing is there, very pathetic. But you go somewhere where lively energy is there, you become enlivened automatically. Like many people, when they come to the temple for kirtan and they see that everyone is dancing and jumping and singing, automatically their feet start moving. They also get a buzz, as they say. So this is very important. And we can see also from this video how Kayadu herself is part of that spiritual environment. She's not an audience member like watching a theater. She's also plucking the flowers. She's also talking to people. She's also serving. So spiritual environment means not just to show a nadagam, not just to show a cinema, but not only being in it, but you have to learn to be a part of it. So creating a spiritual environment, spiritual ambience, it's not just we just be in it. I like to be somewhere spiritual, somewhere clean, somewhere lively. No, we have to be part of it. We have to take responsibility for it. Not a visitor, not a guest, but participator, host. It's very important. This actually brings out the service spirit, where one feels part of the ecosystem. One feels responsible for the ecosystem. So spiritual environment to create, it's not someone else have to create, I just go and live there. Spiritual environment to create and sustain is everybody's job. All of us, part of it, have to be with it. Right? Narada Muni tells Kayadu that, child in the womb is hearing all the Harikatha. So we heard about this child, hears everything. But even if it doesn't see everything, but a child hears everything. So here we can see the role of parents now. More of the responsibility seems to be like shifting to the mother. Because the mother's role, imagine 9 months of conceiving the child, 9 months. She's playing an important role. Whatever she thinks, however she acts, she doesn't fight with any other lady, doesn't badmouth, doesn't talk, this, that, whatever, everything. 9 months she has to take care of herself. Someone may say that, my God, that's a lot of pressure on the mother. The father has no pressure. Father also has a responsibility. Father has to take care of himself for 25 years. Right? 25 years of life of a brahmachari or trained celibate. So then he actually engages in progeny of a child. So the father's tapasya is 25 years. If the mother's tapasya is 9 months. Why? Because Shastras mention that the role of father is also very important. This shloka comes in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Pumsa reta kanashraya. The soul is taking shelter of the semen of the father. Therefore, it is the father's responsibility of the quality of the soul which enters. And the mother's responsibility of the kind of growth that it gets. So both are also very, very vital. Right? So father has like 25 years to prepare himself, good consciousness, so that he attracts the right soul. Mother has 9 months to take care of it directly. Child is with me. And after the child is born, both parents, lifetime, has to take care in the development of the child. So there's a very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which comes in this respect. The power of Harikatha or Krishna Katha. It says in the 2nd canto, Pibanti ye Bhagavata Atmana Satam Katamritam Shravana Puteshu Sambritam Punanti te Vishayad Vidushitashayam Brajanti Tacharana Saroruhantikam. It is mentioned what is the power of Harikatha. Pibanti ye Bhagavata Atmana Satam. One has to drink that Bhagavatam, which is very dear to devotees. Right? And by hearing this, Katamritam, Shravana Puteshu Sambritam. So one says when one drinks, generally when you say drink, you drink through the mouth. But here he's saying that drink means is drinking through the ears. Shravana Puteshu. So Pibanti ye Bhagavata Atmana Satam. Kathamritam, this nectar is drunk using the ears, Shravana Puteshu, the whole of the ears. So interesting. You get nourishment, we think we get nourishment through the mouth. but actually the nourishment for Bhagavatam is coming through the ears. How much a person hears? Punanti te vishaya vidushitashayam. By it will actually punanti, it will actually purify the vidushitashayam. It's a very important word. Vidushit asha. Vidushit asha. Asha means asa in Tamil. Asa, which is dushit, which is dirty, which is contaminated. Vidushit means very dirty. All that asa, which is very, very dirty, sayam, which is lying within the hearts, all that will become clean. Punanti te means them. Avangaloda is mentioning to that people. So punanti te vidushita shayam. All their bad desires, material desires, which are lying within the heart, everything gets purified. And once a person is purified, what? Brajanti tat charana saroruhantikam. The person proceeds towards the lotus feet of Krishna. So this is the power of Harikatha. This is the power of spiritual ambience. And this is what a family value is. That as much as we can, the home has to be created to be like Goloka. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Je dina grihe bhajana deki grihe te Goloka bhaya. The day that I see that bhajan is going on in a house, the day that I see that is going in that house, grihete Goloka bhaya, that house has actually become Goloka. So it is a responsibility of everyone to create such a positive, beautiful spiritual environment filled with Harikatha and Hari Kirtan at home. So a culture, family value. So these are three that we have seen so far. Fourth lesson that we can draw from this movie: people generally say that spirituality means sannyas. Oh no, they do. They don't want spirituality for the child. No one wants spirituality for the child. They say that it's not now. When you sudah tua, when you're old, that child will run away. It's a misconception. Let us see from this clip of Mahavatar Narsimha. So here we see that how, Prahlad was very much so spiritual. I think this is a very eye-tearing scene. Many devotees when they watch this, just so heart-touching, so beautiful, so spiritual. Mother is also a little loving, at the same time concerned. This boy is so spiritual. Why? So much so that he has to hide his practices. He goes into the jungle. I hope all of you realize or notice the Shaligram Shila that he's worshipping. And, the security guards, they are saying that this is against what your father desires. If father comes to know, he'll get angry. Still Prahlad is. So this is a situation. Sometimes we also, when people come newly to Krishna consciousness, they have to hide their bead bag. They go inside the room and chant. Parents don't come to know. Difficult. So all these things come because the family tradition is not supportive of this. So we should never postpone spirituality. This is an important family culture. That parents should not fear children taking up to spirituality. People say sometimes that, spirituality is for old age. Old people should do bhakti. But that's not himself. In the 7th canto, 6th chapter, 1st verse of Bhagavatam, he says, Kaumaram acharet pragya dharman bhagavatan durlabham manusham janma tat api adruvam artadam. He says that Kaumaram acharet pragyo, this acharanam, this behavior, this character, this activity, you should do from young age itself, 5 years old. Bhakti you should practice. So bhakti is not something for old people, it's for new. Now someone may say that, no. See, so weak. You do bhakti, you'll become all soft, you become all weak. You need to be strong. The world is a very hard place. It's a dog-eat-dog world. It's survival of the fittest. That's not true. Because actually spirituality builds inner strength. It builds resilience, the ability to, tackle problems. So the goal of human life is to ultimately renounce matter. That we have to accept. The goal of human life is not to become strong and rule over matter. The goal of human life is to come out of matter and accept spirit, whether externally you do it or internally you do it. Everyone should be renounced. at least internally. So, we can see this lesson. Now, question comes, what about the parents who do not allow their children to practice bhakti? So worried that my children will become a renunciate, they become fearful. And they say, no, 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 I don't want to do it, not now. He will find himself when he becomes, when he becomes old enough, not now, not now, he says that. So what is the fate of such parents who deny, postpone, deviate their children from access to dharma, access to bhakti? Well, like we saw the verses of Bhagavad Gita, which Arjuna explained to Krishna, they're actually dooming themselves, because in future there'll be no pinda danam, there'll be no rites, rituals. They're destroying their own lineage, they're destroying their own lives. Anyone who stops the family culture, family tradition, spiritual culture, they're dooming themselves and their future generations. So Bhagavatam, very heavily mentions this verse. This is a teaching of Rishabdev to his sons. He says, Guru nasasyat, swajanos nasasyat, pita nasasyat, janani nasasyat, daivam nanasya, napatis chasasyan, namoche yah samupete mrityun. 6 people who are authorities in life: Guru, relatives, father, mother, devata, even demigod, right? Or even a husband. All these people cannot become leaders, cannot become, wards for their dependents if they are unable to deliver their own dependence from the cycle of birth and death. So therefore, the goal we see of parenthood, pati, pita, or janani, is to give that capability of the child to achieve mukti, freedom from cycle of birth and death. Now, someone may say, but Prabhu, what happens if my child doesn't become successful from a material point of view? So the child may not be earning millions. Okay, a child may not be earning millions, but still they may be able to help millions to come to the right path. They may not be earning millions, but still they may help millions to come to the right path. That is our understanding, that is our satisfaction. Economical advancement, social advancement, this is not the purpose or goal of life. Right? If it comes, fine, we are not against it. But to try separately for it, and that too at the cost of giving up bhakti, is not good. So these are the kind of things that we can see the importance of spirituality. So pitiful Prahlad here had to go into the forest privately, secretly, practice. And later you'll see in the movie these 2 people who... Someone raised their hand. Maybe we'll take later. We can see in the movie that these 2 people who are accompanying Prahlad Maharaj, later they are the ones who get a transformation, right? Because they're getting some sukriti here by every day taking darshan of Shalikram Shila and following Prahlad, seeing his activities, helping Prahlad. So the same 2 people also get a lot of mercy. So this is a misconception, family values, that we should not think that spirituality is sannyasa. Spirituality is very, very important. Now, let's move on to the 5th point. Like parent, like child. In Malay, we say, Bapa bore, anak rinte. Right? Whatever father does, whatever the parent does, child follows. So everyone wants the child to be great. No, here parent, I think, says that it's okay if my son doesn't become great. No, everyone wants the child to become great. But greatness cannot come from a bad seed. Right? There's a saying in English, an apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Right? So the first impression a child gets in their life comes from their parents. Right? That is actually the cause how in life they look for more association. So child sees their family, sees their parents, and that is the kind of association they seek out during their young years or adult years or teen years. So it's very important that first impression, and this association is so important. We all know that association shapes us. Some of us are fortunate to get association of devotees from a young age. Some of us midway, and then we find to change our habits becomes a bit difficult because we have to wipe out all those other associations. So association definitely shapes us, especially if we are exposed to it to long durations. Parents are the first, and in fact, the longest association that we all get. So how important it is. In Bhagavad, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a nice shloka which says about association. Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hoya Sadhu Sangha, Krishna Prema Janmate Ho Puna Mukhya Anga. Our Krishna consciousness, birth of our Krishna consciousness is gotten through a devotee association. And even after achieving Krishna Prem, that means you're going back home, back to Godhead, still Mukhya Anga, so Mukhyamana Angam. It is still a very important limb, association. So devotee association in the beginning, devotee association at the end, devotee association throughout life. Association is so important, right? Parent, sometimes they may set a wrong example. They may deny the child, deny the rights of the child, force, coerce. I remember preaching in Malaysia, I saw so many families like this. We are preaching to many youths, and I will tell them, go home, practice this and that. And they will tell me all kinds of stories, father tearing up their Krishna photo, parents breaking their japamala, parents forcing meat. So I hear that, I was like, my God, no, we couldn't imagine people being so like this. So this affects the child's upbringing, mentality, impression, because they don't have a safe home, they don't have a safe environment to practice. So, there's a Malay proverb, pepatah, which says, kerana nila setite rosa susu sebelanga. So in English, I say, one rotten apple spoils the whole barrel. So just one bad thing, one negative element can destroy the whole thing. Now one may say, but Prabhu, what to do? If someone is not married, a youth right now, so you can't go home now hearing this and change your parents or change your family. It's difficult. Therefore, change has to start from us. So let us not try to right whatever has gone in the past, but better we focus on the present and think about the future. So many people now, if they are youths, they'll grow and get married, they will have children. So how to run their family life, that is very important, right? We cannot worry about, I come from such and such family, what should I do? Can I go and change my 50-year-old father or 70-year-old mother? I can't do all this, Nasi sudah jadi bubur. So many papata today, Nasi sudah menjadi bubur, you can't change what has already happened. Don't focus on that. Focus on now ourselves. We have got the great opportunity of Krishna consciousness. We know what is right. We can learn so many things from Shastra. So let us improve ourselves and future set up the proper family values by which future generations and lives and peoples can be benefited by our right actions. Let's move on to the sixth lesson. Career versus care. Let's see. So one part of family values which parents and children, the dynamics generally they face is children feels pressure. Parents want this, parents want that. And sometimes parents feel that, it's their responsibility to force or shape the path. It's a very delicate balance. Let us see from this movie of Mahavatar Narsimha, how Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu felt with this whole, career of being a great Asura demon, whereas the care he wanted as a devotee of the Lord.
प्रहलाद, आज तुम मेरी गोदी में बैठे हो, कल जाकर तुम्हें सिंहासन पर बैठना है, तो क्यों ना भविष्य के इस नन्हे राजकुमार के विवेक और सामर्थ्य की एक छोटी सी परीक्षा ली जाए.
Here Hiranyakashipu brings Prahlad, keeps him on his lap, gives him so much affection, and he tells him that tomorrow you are sitting on my lap today, tomorrow you will sit on the Raja Simhasana. He has already paved the path of Prahlad. Now, is that what Prahlad wants? Is that what he likes? We don't know. So a very important part of family value is that we should not unnecessarily want the child to successfully live my failed dreams. Parents, sometimes they have so many asha when they were young. They wanted to do this, they wanted to do that, and then they could not do it. Now they have a few children. They dump everything on the children. You do this, you do this, you do this. I could not do it, you do it, you do it, you. They feel like that without understanding the child first. So it's like I said, it's a very delicate balance. It's not that you don't give them opportunity, but it's a give, take, constant evaluation, assessment, evaluation, constantly. So we should not want the child to live our failed dreams. Here Hiranyakashipu was putting the pressure on Prahlad, take up the career of Asura's Raja, as the king of the Asuras. But Prahlad was not at all interested, as we know. So he was taking leadership over Prahlad's life. Instead of nurturing, nourishing, he was dictating, forcing. Right? We see an example in the Vedic scriptures of 5th canto. There's a story of Rishabdev. So Rishabdev had 100 sons. Of the 100 sons, 10 became king. Now Rishabdev himself is a king. So generally you would think that a king's son should become kings. He had 100 kids. 10 became kings, 9 became Paramahamsa sannyasis, and 81 became Brahmanas. The whole Varna ashram, everyone is there. Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, everything. So that's a proof that, you have to see inclination. So how do we understand inclination? Well, in the Gurukul system, they have what is called as a neutral observer. So the child's small age is sent away, where the guru and the guru patni who takes care of the child, they are neutral observers to the child. Because what happens sometimes, parents, they buy some coloring set for the child. And then the child takes and start coloring. Oh, my child wants to become a painter. Oh, my child is going to be the next Leonardo da Vinci. And maybe the child just, I don't know, just paint something and he may not even like it at the time. So a lot, because we have so much emotions for our family members, our child especially, sometimes we might we see the child is so active. Okay, put him into gym, put him into gymnasium, aerobics or whatever, So we don't know. So therefore, a neutral observer is very good. Someone who can actually observe properly. And therefore, the guru understands. The Gurukula, the guru, the neutral observer, they understands. Or nowadays they call it ashram teacher. The ashram teacher, they understands. Is the child fall into category of an idea person? Is he more of a thinker, thoughtful, presenter, giver of counseling solution? Or is he more of a governance person who has care, the heart, worry for people who want to, support and nourish, protect, manage? Is he a resources person wanting to provide for society, ensuring society is at a perfect balance with nature? Or is he an artistry person, a person who wants to support all the others by giving them beauty, functionality? So these are the 4 principles of a person may fall in. And it's not necessary that what the father does, the son has to follow. Yeah, everyone is like we saw the example of Rishabdev, not necessarily. And Narad Muni in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he quotes this beautiful verse, Yasya yal lakshanam proktam pumso varnabhivanjakam yat antyaratrepi drishteta tat tenaiva vinirdishe. He says that based on the lakshanam, qualities which they exhibit, a person is then divided or understood to be in which varna or which kind of work group, right? So this has to be seen, and sometimes maybe as parents it'll be a bit difficult. So therefore, counselors, mentors, ashram teachers, whatever you may call it, a neutral observer is very, very important. The last 2 are remaining. Let's see the joy of parenthood. So this movie also brings out not only the heavy lessons, but it also shows the importance of parenthood itself. This is a beautiful positive section. We'll see a positive example now from Hiranyakashipu. So bad, we've been bad mouthing him all the way. So let's see some positive example.
प्रणाम पिताश्री।
सभी देवताओं को अपना दास बनाकर संपूर्ण सृष्टि पर विजय पाने का सुख एक और पुत्र प्रेम का सुख एक और।
He says here that, no, I've defeated all the devatas, I've conquered all the world. Oh, what a happy this is. But the happiness, the joyfulness of having a child like you, Prahlad, that's a different happiness, right? So this is also very important family value. Nowadays, people are getting married, but they see parenthood or having a child as a burden. They see having children as a blockage to their enjoyment. Many people say, we'll get married, but we don't need to have kids. Chanakya says, Putram heenam graham shunyam. Without a child, home is not a home, it's just a house actually. So that's actually a very important purpose of parenthood. Marriage alone is one thing, but marriage means actually becoming parents. There is what is called as the science of parenthood. Why parenthood is so important for 2 individuals who get married is because parenthood helps the 2 individuals from an enjoying mentality to a serving mentality. They help the two individuals to overcome their lower desires or whatever it may be, and to focus on more responsible things. They become selfless, they become patient, they become loving, they become mature. So this is the science of parenthood. This is how the jiva becomes more inclined to spirituality also, by becoming more responsible and matured in their own lives. So if sometimes see that if they do not have children, then the parents may always, or the couple who get married, they may always feel like they're always, sweet 16 and just roam the world and travel here. They'll never get very serious. But taking care of a child is a lot of responsibility. That responsibility helps us to become matured. And without maturity, we cannot actually grow in our own Krishna consciousness. So they should not see the ROI in children. For example, return of investment. No? Parents start thinking, let me get 3 children, and each 3 children, I'll make them professionals. And if each 3 children gives me 100,000 a month, wow, I'll get 300,000 a month. Wonderful. 10,000, whatever it may be, whatever currency. Right? So that's not right. Chanakya Pandit further goes on to say that parenthood is a very wonderful joy, but one should not be worried about how to take care of the children. The joy in parenting is also in punishing the child. He gives a nice shloka. You see, this verse comes. Lalane bahavo doshas. If you pamper, their dosha or their bad qualities will increase. Bahavo. Tadane bahavo guna. If you punish, their gunam, their good qualities will increase. Tasmat putram cha shishyam cha. Therefore, for both children and disciples, tadaye natu lalayet. Punish, correct. Don't pamper. Someone may say this and immediately take out the belt, Pukul sampai mati or what. Not like that. But he gives another verse then. Till when you can do this punishing? Lalayet pancha varshani. Till 5 years old, you pamper them, love them, invest in them, give them love. Dasha varshani tadayet. Till 10 years old, right? Then you can punish and correct them. Prapte to shodashe varshe. But once they reach 16, I guess that's why it's called sweet 16. Putre mitravat achare. You should become a friend with the child. Because now, that age, if you punish, it's very embarrassing. It's a negative impact on the psychology of the child. So, parenthood, or this culture of having children is not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. There's a joy in it, and the joy is taking care of a child, giving for the child, providing for the child, nurturing the child. So parents also, the family value, the family culture should see it as a joyful event. Sadly, nowadays, there's so much negativity. People don't like it. Last, which is the most important part of it. Now, someone may be thinking, Prabhu, it's all about parents. Some responsibility must fall on the child also. Yes. Let's see this from the character of Prahlad.
पिताश्री, मैं आपसे विनती करता हूँ कि आप कृपया जगत पिता नारायण को लेकर ऐसे अपशब्द ना कहें।
उस जगत पिता का अपमान तुझे चुभता है, और तेरे इस पिता का जो तू सदैव अपमान करता फिरता है, उसका तुझे कोई पछतावा नहीं है। क्या वही विष्णु तेरे लिए सब कुछ है, मैं कुछ नहीं?
ऐसा नहीं है पिताश्री, मैं आपसे भी बहुत स्नेह करता हूँ।
अच्छा, देखकर लगता तो नहीं।
हम दोनों के बीच पिता और पुत्र का संबंध तो केवल इस जन्म तक का है।
So here, this is a very powerful lesson I found in the movie. People may say, that Prahlad is, he was just always favoring Vishnu. But what about his father? His father was misunderstood. Father was whatever, should not love the father as well. So here, he's telling the Lord, that please don't badmouth Vishnu. He's the supreme father. So then the father said, what? Then what about me? I'm not your father. Say, no, I love you also. But Krishna is the eternal father. You are one lifetime father. Still, respect is there. So just because we are connected to spirit, just because we are doing something spiritual, doesn't mean we can disrespect matter. Right? It's a very, very important thing that we should provide respect, give respect. So we may disapprove. Prahlad disapproved of the behavior of Hiranyakashipu, but he never disrespected him. There's a beautiful shloka which Lord Kapila in third canto says the importance of respect. He says, Dvishata parakaye, do not be envious of others. Ma manino, you're envious of others, but you're accepting me. You like me, you accept me, but you're envious of other being. Bhinna darshita, you are actually a separatist. Bhuteshu bhadda vairena. He says that, you are very inimical to others. For such people who envious of others but accept God, they like God, they respect God, but they don't like any other, they are not respectful for anyone. Na mana shanti mrichati. Their minds will never be peaceful. So respect of God means respect of everyone also. We cannot see one way or the other. Rishabdev says to his sons also that, my dear sons, you should not envy any living entity, whether moving, non-moving, knowing that I am within all of them. Therefore, you should respect all of them. So this respect is a very foundational, important part of our culture. And although whatever said and done, we should never disrespect. We may disapprove, but never disrespect. We can remember that Akrura was even grateful to Kamsa. Akrura, when he was going to Vrindavan to take Krishna and Balaram, he was grateful to even Kamsa. In our culture, we see that if you touch your leg to a bag, touch with your leg, accidentally you'll touch to your forehead. If we can respect a non-living being like a bag, why can't we respect even living beings? So family values ends this whole section, and the tying of this session is respect. So like this, we end the presentation of lessons from Mahavatar Narsimha with the main topic of family values and how family values are so important. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Your Grace. Thank you very much for today's enlightening and also very awesome class with a lot of nice movie clips. Since we only have, we're approaching 9 o'clock, so we can't take any questions. So once again, thank you very much, Your Grace.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Your Grace. Look forward to meet you in the next session. So Hare Krishna again, Matajis and Prabhus. Sorry, I didn't want my video. Thank you very much for joining us today. We will see you again next week with a different topic. All glories to Lordships Sri Lakshmi Narayana. All glories to Sri Radha Madhava Ashtasakis. All glories to Sri Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadra. All glories to Sri Sri Gauranitai. All glories to Sri Sampradaya Acharya. All glories to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to all the devotees. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.